Mental Health Monday
on Radio City Talk
with Mick Coyle.
Tackling the stigma.
Radio City Talk.
Time for Mental Health Monday once again. My name's Mick Coyle. I hope you're well. Thank you for joining us on the programme. Really appreciate it. We've got another great guest in the studio to talk about mental health and an organisation doing fantastic work in the Merseyside area. There's a project they're involved in as well, and they're running various different workshops that they want people to get involved in and to get the word out about Kindred Minds. Marc Fraser joins us on the programme. Marc, great to see you. How are you?
Very well, thanks. Thanks for having us on.
Hey, not a problem at all. Kindred Minds, tell us about it. You're a CIO, which is a charitable incorporated organisation. Tell us what you do.
Well, basically, Kindred Minds was created in 2012 by a group of PSS service users. And the idea was to have a service user-led activity provider, basically. So everything, I mean, there are two employees. I'm employed by them, and we've got a what's her title? Sessional development worker. Other than that, it is all service users running it. So it's and I mean, we do activities. We've had projects. I mean, we've got Whirlpool, which is our wellbeing blog, which is actually how I got to know about them. I started training to do the blogging, and it led on from there, really. At the moment, we've got activities including arts and crafts, pottery, which is fun, a ukulele group. It's some of the Strumbrellas, who I believe you know about.
Absolutely.
Some of them are part of that as well, but it's a new one. So there's like one in Bellevale and one in town. Yoga, complementary therapies. We do excursions. We did a trip to Ormskirk. We did a trip to New Brighton, which, you know, gives people a chance to sort of socialise with like-minded people.
Absolutely. And, you know, in terms of the groups of people who it's for anyone in the general public. What age is it for? It's for
over
any
18.
age. Over 18, of
Over
course,
18,
yeah. And which area of the city is anywhere in the city?
Merseyside, basically. I mean, at the moment, we're basically Liverpool, although we have got a couple of people from Southport, but they don't get in very much, you know. So.
In terms of the sort of the types of people who might sort of make connections with Kindred Minds, what sort of places are they coming from? What sort of stories do they have?
Well, I mean, confidentially means that I don't really know that much about individual stories, but you know, they've all come through. Well, no, they haven't all come through PSS now. We've got a core from PSS, but you know, there are people that have all sorts of background. We also do a buddy scheme, which is a chaperone service for people attending DWP assessments, which is very useful given that so many other services similar to that have been cut.
Yeah, I was going to say, because I think it seems like a lot of the work that you're doing is obviously crucial work as well, but maybe the word needs to be out about sort of work to make sure that people are aware. For instance, DWP assessments, which have become very much in the news about whether or not people are sort of fit and able to get a job, but they have these assessments, and sometimes people feel a little bit vulnerable if they're having this assessment and they don't really know what's expected of them and what's going to happen. The buddy scheme is something where people can go along with them. To sort of chaperone, guide them through that process.
I mean, we can't represent them, but, you know, we can just be emotional support. And I mean, I know from personal experience that those things are so stressful. I mean, you know, they say, oh, describe your worst day, and I mean, that'll be it. So we're always looking for volunteers, by the way, a bit of a plug there. And it's just nice, you know, we have a couple of students who volunteer. They're very friendly. They're doing sort of mental health related courses. So they're very sensitive, very, very nice at what they do. So, I mean, it's happened. I mean, it was started before I started in the job, but it's happened since. So I'm quite pleased with how it's gone.
In terms of, let's talk about the positivity that it brings to people's mental health. You mentioned the classes there and you know, getting involved in ceramics and yoga and all those sorts of things. What sort of difference do you see in people who take part in those sorts of classes?
I mean, we do a lot of feedback, and they all say, love it, would love to do more, sort of, and I mean, you can tell from the atmosphere in the classes. Well, they're not actually classes. I've got to, because I mean, I run the pottery, and I'm not actually a teacher. I just, I get involved and have fun with them. It's just, I mean, speaking from the other side of mental health myself, I would say it's a very nice distraction. And it's, it's nice to meet up with people and have a laugh. And yoga obviously does wonders. I've actually sat in and done that myself when I'm not too stiff. Complementary therapies are also very popular.
And do you think that's the process of actually taking part in those sessions, or do you think it's the process of having a place to go, sense of community, the sort of social aspect around it?
I think it's a bit of both, to be honest. I mean, we also have a couple of events a year. We have like the summer fair, which we just had last Friday actually, and a Christmas party. And I mean, when the people come to that and they have a lot of fun. I think it's a mixed thing. The fact of getting out of the house, plus the fact that you're sort of with people you can trust, and let your hair down with. So
let your hair down, indeed, and literally muck in with the pottery, I imagine. Marc Fraser's with us from Kindred Minds. In terms of your own sort of experience from a mental health point of view, Marc, do you feel that there is sort of benefit way beyond just these one-off sessions when you look at projects and workshops to come as well? Obviously, working in that environment as well. Do you feel the benefits of that you're involved not only in something that's good for you, but you're bringing other people into the fold as well? I
mean, it's a community, and with so many struggling organisations, it's nice that there is a community there. I mean, I'm not saying we're the only one, but it's nice that there's a community where people that may know each other may get to know each other. As I say, the core is from PSS, but it's not solely PSS. So
it's interesting though that there's so many people who come on this program, Marc, and they say exactly the same thing, that they're looking for. People are looking for these organisations. They don't realise they're looking for an organisation. They're looking for a space. They're looking for an activity. They're looking for an opportunity, if you like. And so many of these organisations might provide that one thing. They might, it might not be for you, but there might be another that does.
Yeah.
And it seems to me there's a great deal of social good in those sorts of organisations, and that people have got almost like a yearning to do something more than just whatever it is that we find ourselves doing in life in 2019.
Well, again, personally, I went through PSS, and I wouldn't go so dramatic as to say it saved my life, but it certainly changed it. It opened me up to being with other people and to being open and destigmatizing. I've done videos that destigmatize and stuff like that. So it's great that there are organisations. As you say, it's just, I mean, it's such a shame about LMHC because they brought all of us together, and that is needed because we sort of get calls from people that say, "Oh, I've just heard about this," and I've been looking for something like this for ages,
LMHC, Liverpool Mental Health Consortium, whose sort of journey we charted on the programme. In terms of the environment you try and create, you create these, we'll call them classes.
Workshops.
What are they like then? Do you find people sort of loop around the door, have a quick look in, double check to think, am I allowed in? Should I come in? Is it okay to come in?
No, they generally do come in. I mean, I send out a weekly email saying what's on the following week. And we're always sort of asking people what they want as well. I mean, pottery was suggested by a couple of the service users. So, we had a bit of funding available. So we bought a couple of potter's wheels, which, as I say, it was a lot of fun. I managed not to get hit by lumps of clay, and some ukuleles so that we could have another ukulele group. It's actually called Kindred Strings and Sings because if you play a mandolin or a banjo, you can join, and if you sing, you can join So, it's as I say, it's all fun. The complementary therapies are very, very popular. We've got this wonderful volunteer, Irene, who does massage, not full body massage, but head massage, hand massage, foot reflexology, and what's so forth.
And what sort of people within the community are you able to reach at the moment? What sort of backgrounds do people have?
Basically, they've usually come through one of the other organisations. Another one is the directory, Live Well directory. All sorts of backgrounds. I mean, it's how many different backgrounds do people with mental health problems have, And
do they tell you what they're looking for? Do you get a sense of what they're looking for when they come through the door?
Yeah. I mean, they ask what's available, and usually, I'll try that, But I mean, as I say, we try to survey quite regularly to see what people actually want, and we try them. If they don't work, I mean, a couple of things we've tried and nobody's turned up, so we've thought, okay, we tried it, let's try something else, and they work fine.
In terms of the project you're working on at the moment, Wellpool, and the blog yourself well. Sometimes people think that turning to the internet at times of poor mental health might be a negative thing to do, because you'll find all sorts down there. You've tried to turn that on its head with the work that you're doing through the Wellpool project as well. How do you blog yourself well?
It's basically, I mean, the team of bloggers and guests will write about what they do for well-being. We'll throw out questions like, what brings you joy, or what makes you happy, or what do you do when you're under stress. We have stuff on gardening, we have poetry, we have, I mean, myself, I'm very keen on photography, so my contribution has always been graphic and what have you. And, it's just, I think another important thing is realising that, with stuff like that, you're not on your own. Very much not on your own. I mean, what is it, 1 in 4, possibly more now. And it's just good to actually read different stories. If people want to share their stories, I mean, they can do that anonymously. They don't have to name themselves if they don't want to. But, we've had a couple of people on from the LGBT community, and it's such a mixed bag of contributors.
And in terms of that, and in terms of those things that you talked about, photography, gardening, they are relatively simple things, aren't they?
Oh,
You can do photography now with with your mobile phone. If you want to, you can do gardening in a space which is a little pot that sits on the windowsill, or in a huge park if you get the opportunity to do it that way as well. That's not rocket science, is it?
No.
That's not. You're not offering people counselling sessions through that. You're opening their eyes to trying something a little bit different, introducing a new activity, or making them think differently about an activity.
Yeah, something that the depressive mindset shuts itself off to. I mean, it again. In my case, I was agoraphobic and I wouldn't go out, and I started getting interested in taking pictures. I was taking pictures of a cup. And eventually I thought, well, there's only so many pictures I can take indoors, so I ventured out. At first I had headphones on, so I didn't have to communicate with people, and I started talking to other photographers, and it really did turn me around. And it's I'm saying that because, again, it's the depressive mindset that doesn't make you think of that. It just makes you think, I don't want to go out, I can't face the world.
But actually, through the work you were doing and the involvement and the interest in photography, it created an opportunity for you to go out under your own sort of control, if you like, and under your own terms as well.
And I mean, I think another important thing is that people are often worried about going out on their own. So, that's where we help, because we provide a group of people that share some interests. Sometimes people, when they have
depressive tendencies, maybe agoraphobia might be a factor contained within that.
Yeah.
There might be a sense that, well, this is how I live now. This is the way my life is. What's it been like for you?
It was like that for years.
Yeah, and what's it been like for you sort of going through that and then finding an opportunity beyond it, if you like?
Like a renaissance. I mean, I started off as a musician, and I was never sort of totally contented being a musician. But, now, because I have lived it myself and because I know, a lot of people connected, it's great. It's just a different life. In a way, I wish I'd gone through it when I was younger.
In terms of that as well, because I mean, we're all on a journey in terms of our life out there as well. And some people might be doing stuff in their 20s and 30s, which is then completely different to stuff they're doing in their 40s and 50s. Yeah. Did you find that you were prepared or not prepared to go through changes in your mindset and in your mental health?
I had gone through. I mean, the start of it was I sort of met someone, got engaged, they became seriously ill. So I became a carer and married her, and then I was widowed, and, so it's sort of PTSD type depression. So, I mean, change had been forced on me through talk. I mean, they weren't called Talk Liverpool at the time, but I had counselling with what is now Talk Liverpool, and they referred me to PSS. And, everything looked up from there, really.
Because people, I guess, will have experiences in their lives that they're maybe not anticipating.
Yeah.
But it's how we sort of find a way through that, and about how the community can offer the sort of maybe be part of the solution to that as well. You must, when people sort of share their stories with you about why they maybe make a connection with Kindred Minds, they'll tell you, I'm sure, 1,000,001 different things.
Yeah, as I say, we've because of confidentiality, we don't sort of generally know people's mental health history, but what people do share is rewarding.
Absolutely.
When it's so positive, the change,
And I guess you yourself, because you had sort of the issues that you've dealt with and the circumstances, the tragic circumstances that through which you live, I imagine helps you be more empathetic, that sometimes people don't give away too much about themselves or their journey. Yeah. But because the complexities that can come with life, that you can be more empathetic toward them.
Yeah. Yes, I mean, there is that. Sometimes you have to step back a little bit and just sort of listen rather than, share your own, which I'm doing a lot of. But, you have to step back and just sort of go with the flow. If people want to tell you stuff, that's fine. It's all confidential. But, we don't ask people to. We don't ask, well, why do you need us? If you come along and say you've had mental health problems, then that's enough. And it is a very brave step. I mean, as I say, when you're in that mindset, you don't think you want to do anything else. You think this is it. This is life,
Well, what a great service to be able to say, come down, see us, get in contact, we'll get the details out. And you're not going to say to them, why, what's wrong with you?
Go on,
of course not. Prove yourself then. No, there's none of that.
None of that, We're all, I don't want to use the phrase, but we're all in it together sort of thing. And it is. And I mean, it's also very rewarding for me to be a part of it because I've had so much support from PSS and Kindred Minds, So to actually be a part of it now is wonderful.
If people want to get involved in Kindred Minds, they can get involved. Now, your centre, let me get this right. So you're based at the Lee Valley Millennium Centre on Chilwell Valley Road. Yeah. That's L25 2PR, if you want to type that into a search engine. L25 2PR. You're looking for Kindred Minds there. Yeah,
that's the activity room is our room.
And you're on Facebook as well, facebook.com/Kindred Minds Merseyside. That's Kindred Minds Merseyside. Now, there is an email here, which I'll read out, and a phone number. If people want to grab a pen now, kindredmindsliverpool@gmail.com. That's kindredmindsliverpool@gmail.com, and that phone number as well, if you want to get in contact with Mark and the Kindred Minds team, 07379 892 793. That's 07379 892 793. Now, it says here you're working on a workshop in December looking around podcasting. You've been in the music industry, so you'll know how microphones work, voice recording as well. Is that something you're taking a keen interest in?
Yes,
something where allows you to use your skill set you already have?
Yeah, I mean, it's a new dimension. And I mean, podcasting's the thing now, isn't it? As well as radio, obviously. But, in setting it up, I researched, and there are so many podcasts to do with it, to do with mental health now, psychology, science, and of course Mental Health Mondays, which I listen to quite frequently myself.
Excellent.
So yeah, and I mean, I've just always been, I mean, I did a lot of electronic music at college, and so I've always been interested in the editing side of things as well. I mean, it was a bit of a switch. I'm at that age where I just sort of trained in analog technology and it all went digital. But now, looking at digital technology, I think it makes it so much easier. You can see the sound, and it's just nice to get people involved. We had some Spanish visitors for what was our second and third. It was 2A and 2B episodes. Actually, with the lady that designed Wellpool, Hayley Trowbridge, and that was interesting, getting their perspective on whether the internet is a good thing for mental health or not.
Yeah. Well, let's hope that it is. If people are using it to find resources the podcast.
It's of course it is. It has to be.
Yeah. And I think that's the thing as well. It's about people using the internet for a positive thing as well. You've got the Wellpool blog. I'll mention the website for that one, well-pool.co.uk. That's well-pool.co.uk. That you've got to use it for positive things, and it'll become a positive place. If we just see it as a negative thing and use it for negative things, it will be a negative place.
Yeah, of course,
I think we'll almost get the internet we deserve.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
Where we go, well, I only use it to criticise people on comment sections of newspaper websites. That's all they'll design the internet for, because that'll get the hits and so on and so forth. But if people go on there saying, I use it to look for positive things, then all the algorithms, they all kick in, and then suddenly you're shown more positive things, and people will then start going, well, let's focus the advertising on the positive, because that's what people are looking for when they go online.
Yeah. And I mean, it's one of the things that I've sort of workshopped in the past with other groups is, protecting yourself online, not giving too much away. And if you do that, I love Facebook because it's like another network, A lot of people hate it.
You're got involved. So where are these are all taking place at the PSS Umbrella Centre? Is that right?
The Wellpool sessions.
The Wellpool sessions as well, and there are details of that on that Wellpool website.
Yeah, and the complementary therapies happen there as well.
And that's the fitness and nutrition themed event, the general and guest blogging event, the podcasting event. They're happening between now and the end of the year. Yeah. So you can get involved in that one through Wellpool, promoting positive health and well-being at well-pool.co.uk. And if you want to get involved, that email address again, wellpoolblog@gmail.com. If you're just thinking, maybe they can help me out, maybe they can point me in the right direction, get involved and get in touch with Mark and the Kindred Minds team.
You see, a lot of people actually use writing as a, I wouldn't say a therapy, a therapeutic. It's got its benefits, positive. I mean, they'd say that journaling is one of the most positive things you can do. And I mean, blogging's just public journaling.
But here's a question: do you ever get people who write a blog and then say don't publish it? The people who've sought the benefit of writing it all down and then thought, well, I don't actually need to put this out on the internet.
We only had that once during the training sessions. Generally, people either want to be published or not. We're always looking for more, and I mean, if they're unhappy with any editorial things, which I mean we try not to edit, keep it minimal. They're unhappy with what we can take it down or change it. I I mean, it's the same sort of thing with photography. You know, people, we always have to say, I'm sure you know this one, you always have to say, you know, you're okay having your photograph taken, even if it's the back of your head sort of thing.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, just...
I think it's a sign you're taking responsibility, isn't it, and making sure that everybody's sort of on the same page, if you like, which is to your credit. Blog yourself well with the Wellpool project as well through Kindred Minds. Mark, it's been a pleasure to get you on the programme today. Thanks for joining us. Volunteers, you're always looking for volunteers
for the buddy scheme. Yeah.
So what sort of thing might a volunteer to the buddy scheme be needed for?
Basically, to accompany people to DWP assessments. You know, PIP, ESA if it's still going. Universal credit, which, I mean, those assessments are incredibly stressful. I know from personal experience again. And, you know, we can't offer advice. So, I mean, the kind of volunteers we like are ones that are friendly, empathetic, not intrusive, obviously, and are just there to sort of bolster, you know, give an emotional support.
And you can do that through the Kindred Minds social media. Is that the best place to...
Social media, email or phone, any. So.
And all those information are included within this week's podcast, which you'll be able to download via Mental Health Mondays feed. That's Mental Health Monday. Tap that into your podcast provider, and all the editions will come up, and they're all absolutely free. Thank you for your time today, Mark. Really appreciate you joining us on the programme.
Thank you.
Great to get a listener on the show as well. And I think some positive feedback for Mental Health Monday as well, although he is setting up a rival podcast, so I think he fancies
as I say, there's no danger of that. It's a very low key.
We like that. We try and go low key here as well. Thank you for your time. Marc Fraser from Kindred Minds.